Tonight on WTOL 11 Plus now, a Sunday morning worship service turns to tragedy.
Yeah, what we know about the person who police say rammed his truck into a church, shot at worshipers, and then set the church on fire. Plus, new information about the victims.
We'll find a bipartisan path forward to meet the needs of the American people, starting with health care and lowering the high cost of living, because we're in a health care crisis right now.
Plus, leaders in Congress are meeting with President Donald Trump to avoid a government shutdown.
And another mass shooting to tell you about over the weekend. Police say a man pulled up to a dock on a boat and opened fire on a restaurant. Several were killed. What we know tonight about the investigation.
Thanks for joining us tonight on WTOL 11 Plus. I'm Kaylee Maritet.
And I'm Jeff Smith. Our top story tonight, what we're learning about yesterday's shooting at a church in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan.
5 people were killed, this including the gunman. We're also told 8 people were taken to the hospital. Dr. Michael Danick of Henry Ford Genesis says 5 people were shot and 3 were treated for smoke inhalation. 2 of those with smoke inhalation were released and 1 is still intubated. He says the ages of the victims range from 6 to 78 of those who were shot. 1 is in critical condition. Another is in critical condition but stable. 1 child was stabilized and transferred to another hospital, and 1 was shot in the leg. Grand Blanc Township Police Chief William Rennie says everyone has been accounted for, although crews are still in the process of clearing out the church.
Evil. This was an evil act of violence. That's exactly what this was. And this is not Grand Blanc. This does not define Grand Blanc and who we are. We're hurting. And we know that you are hurting as well with us.
Chief Rennie also says the Family Assistance Center at the Genesis Athletic Club will be open today and tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. where families can go to get support.
WTOL 11 spoke to one man who was in the church at the time of the shooting. Paul Kirby says announcements had just wrapped up when he heard a loud boom, and that is when the back wall of the church buckled and everything shook. Paul Kirby says some people started panicking. He went to check out and see what happened, and that's when he saw the shooter.
That's when I turned around and started running for the door. I felt some shrapnel hit my left leg, and then as I'm running to the door, bullet grazed or went past me, hit the door on the left side of me about a foot away. I'm panicking and trying to get through the doors as fast as possible and just expecting a bullet in my back. I was just waiting for it.
You can watch the full interview with Paul Kirby on the WTOL 11 YouTube page.
Faith Zahowski is joining us live from Grand Blanc Township, Michigan, where she has been covering this story today. Faith, you were at the press conference earlier this afternoon. FBI agents were saying they were interviewing people who were at the church and other witnesses. What else did you hear from this agent and at this press conference earlier?
Yeah, Kaylee, that special agent with the FBI says that they interviewed over 100 people from victims to witnesses yesterday in that church. And after interviewing all of those people, they say they're still looking for a motive to this attack. And multiple officials expressed that as well at the presser, that they are still looking for a motive to this attack yesterday.
So Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer was also there, and she came up to speak. What did she have to say?
Yes, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer said that she spoke to President Trump on the phone yesterday, and he expressed his deepest condolences. She also asked people to not speculate about the incident yesterday because that could just spread misinformation. And she said, quote, to lower the temperature of the rhetoric, end quote, on the incident. She asked people to do that.
So this morning, a 21-year-old was arrested for going around the barricades of the church, and Chief Rennie said that they are still trying to see if these are related. What else did the chief say about the crew, about people coming to visit this scene?
Yes, the chief asked people to stay away completely from the scene if possible, but I was told by a reporter in the area earlier today that a memorial is starting at the church. But again, he did ask everyone to stay away from the scene if they could, so crews can do their job. And he also mentioned the road will be closed around the church. Roads will be closed until that scene is completely investigated and cleared.
There are a lot of other areas that are being blocked off as well as investigators are getting credible bomb threats. That's what Michigan State Police were calling it last night. Have they mentioned anything else about the other bomb threats that are coming in the area?
Yeah, Kaylee, they didn't mention the bomb threats, but Sheriff Swanson of Genesee County did say that they are aware of them and that law enforcement agencies are posted around schools, other churches, and other larger gatherings to give the community that peace of mind to put that extra precaution in place for the community.
So Faith, I was there last night in Grand Blanc Township, and I think last night people were still in shock and trying to understand what had happened. And I personally grew up actually only 25 minutes from Grand Blanc. People are still trying to wrap their heads around this, I think. At least that's the vibe that I got last night. What's the climate been like there for you today after this?
Yeah, Kaylee, just like you mentioned, everyone is devastated by this happening in such a tight-knit community. They shared. Many officials use that verbiage. It's a tight-knit community. We were at the hospital earlier as well, and there were people giving away signs, women, an organization giving away signs of hope, messages with hope on those signs. And again, those officials sharing what you shared, that this is devastating, this is an evil act, they said, and they encouraged the community to rally behind that message of hope and to be there for each other.
All right, thanks, Faith. We appreciate it, and we will continue to stay on top of this story. Jeff, we're going to send it to you.
Now to the stories making headlines across the country and around the world. More than 100 National Guard troops are being sent out to the West Coast. Also, the president meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House today. We'll have an update there for you. Congress is less than 48 hours at this point to pass a spending bill and avoid a government shutdown. But first, there were multiple mass shootings over the weekend, one in Southport, North Carolina, Saturday night. In that one, police say a man pulled up to a dock on a boat armed with an assault rifle and opened fire on diners at the American Fish Company. 3 people were killed. 5 others were injured in what is being described as a highly premeditated attack. The suspect, 40-year-old Nigel Edge, according to police. Records show that he was a decorated Marine combat veteran and Purple Heart recipient and may suffer from PTSD. Officials say Edge used the boat to flee after the attack, but was later spotted and arrested. The president meeting with Republican and Democratic congressional leaders at the White House in a last-ditch effort to avert a looming government shutdown. Democrats are pushing to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies set to expire at the end of this year and roll back cuts to Medicaid. Republicans want to pass a short-term spending bill that would fund the government until mid-November, negotiating demands from Democrats at a later time. Now, if Congress does not get something to the president by tomorrow night, the government faces a temporary shutdown. Thousands of federal workers could be furloughed and non-essential services would be disrupted. The president hosting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House earlier today as he was hoping to finalize a deal to end the war in Gaza. White House officials confirming the administration has presented a 21-point plan to both sides. There are reports it includes an immediate ceasefire, the release of remaining Israeli hostages within 48 hours, and a post-war plan that includes governance in Gaza without Hamas. The president has said that he believes they are close to a deal. And the president is planning to send 200 National Guard troops, to Portland, Oregon. The president says the troops will protect ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other domestic terrorists, end quote. The declaration sparked protesting in Portland, and state officials filed suit against the administration challenging the deployment. The president earlier authorized the use of federal troops in Memphis, and those are set to arrive sometime today.
Still to come, it's been 1 year since Hurricane Helene devastated parts of North Carolina. We'll show you how one town is marking the anniversary. Plus, after more than a decade, McDonald's is bringing back Monopoly, but with a twist. The types of prizes you could win. Chris?
Mild breeze going to kick into the area the next couple of days, but sunshine will continue. We'll preview my 10-day forecast coming up right after the break.
Do you follow WTOL 11 on social media? Right now, there's a video on our TikTok page that we want to show you. Here's Sophia Pericone.
Check your freezers. Nearly 60 million pounds of corn dogs are being recalled, and people have actually been injured because of it. The recall covers Jimmy Dean and State Fair brands, including corn dogs and sausage on a stick products made between March and September. Apparently, some of these might have pieces of wood baked inside of them. These have been shipped nationwide, and so far at least 5 people have been hurt from eating the affected products. To see if your box is part of the recall, look for the numbers EST 582 or P894 on your packaging. So bottom line, before you grab your quick snack on a stick, check your freezer first.
Make sure you're following WTOL 11 on your favorite social media platforms to stay up to date. Well, the Super Bowl halftime show is going to have a Latin flair this time. Music superstar Bad Bunny is bringing his talents to NFL's biggest stage. The Puerto Rican sensation is leading all nominees at the Latin Grammys in November, and he is one of the world's most streamed artists. The Super Bowl is February 8th in Santa Clara, California.
Dude is hilarious on Saturday Night Live.
Well, McDonald's is bringing back a game for customers that hasn't been seen in 10 years. The fast food giant's Monopoly returns to the U.S. on October 6th.
Let's go.
This promotion, based on the classic Hasbro board game, made its debut with McDonald's in 1987. In addition to free food, some of the prizes up for grabs include 1 million American Airlines miles and a Jeep Grand Cherokee. One lucky player will also walk away with $1 million in cash, but things are a little different this time around. The game pieces will be scanned into the McDonald's app for redemption. Well, Chipotle is spicing up its menu. The fast food chain is introducing a new red chimichurri sauce. It's a $1 side and is made with garlic, cilantro, chili peppers, and citrus juice. Chipotle says it's aimed at Gen Z diners who tend to like bold flavors. The company says the new sauce will help it rebound from 2 consecutive quarters of slumping sales. The new offering is set to debut tomorrow, but will only be available for a limited amount of time.
I feel like our newsroom keeps Chipotle in business.
I think
Make
that
it
might be
so
true.
easy
Yeah.
to order and to pick it up.
That is, I don't know if I would go. I wonder how spicy it is, though.
Yeah,
I like a little zing. I'd be all right with it.
but it's a side. It's because usually you go through the line, you got the sauces
Yeah.
right there, they put them on, but this one is
So would you dip like chips into it?
maybe. By the way, I got to point out, the Powerball, Mega Millions, they've all reached billion-dollar status. Come on, McDonald's. I mean,
Let's bump it up.
let's bump it up.
Only 1 million?
I go back to if you get Boardwalk and I get Park Place, we'll talk about splitting the winnings,
absolutely.
whatever it is.
One of those is like, you can't get it, right? It's just
like winning the Mega Millions,
Right.
1 in a billion, right, to win that. Yeah, I think they could up the prizes a little bit. They're a little 1990s on the prize value.
true.
We're looking at dry weather across the area, guys. Yet again, another week without any chance of rain across the area. I'll take you on over here to big weather maps, and we're looking at dry weather. And if you open up the WTOL 11 weather app and you see exactly what we're looking at right now, not a drop of rain now through the next 7 days. And I know I feel like a little bit of a broken record with that. How many times have we gone ahead and said that? Temperature-wise, we are in the 70s, closer to the Lake Erie shore, Fremont, Oak Harbor, Port Clinton, Sandusky, right around the low to mid 70s. If you're inland, still have some spots hanging on to the lower 80s. Either way, great day to have the windows open this evening. Get a little bit of that fresh air as we now wind down the month of September. Final day of September, it's tomorrow. 54 degrees out the door, a little bit of patchy fog, but I'll tell you right off the bat, I don't expect that to be a widespread issue or cause any travel concerns. Mid-70s, sunshine if you're outdoors for that recess hour toward midday, and then highs will head toward 80 degrees. A little warm for any of those after-school sports and practices. Now, essentially just flatline any chance of rain. What are we expecting? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, into the weekend. We have no chance of any rain and another 7 days before we do get toward that chance of rain. So quick look at the hour-by-hour forecast. Clear skies tonight. Should remain mainly fog-free across the area. Not expecting any widespread fog. Occasionally we get that little shallow ground fog. Settles very close to the surface, but that rarely causes any widespread issues or delays. We're dry into Wednesday. Bright skies and sunshine. A little bit of cloud cover returns late Wednesday, and we will get a lake breeze on Wednesday that will keep many areas across northwest Ohio a little bit cooler back in the 70s, but that is very typical of what you'd expect for this time of year. Near 80 degrees for Tuesday. Mentioned the lake breeze on Wednesday. There's where it shows up, 72 degrees. But if you're inland from the lake breeze, still could rise well into the mid-70s on Wednesday. Thursday, 74, 81 on Friday. No rain out there for Thursday and into Friday. And look at the weekend forecast. It is October. You may be thinking pumpkin patches, apple picking, all that fun stuff. It is going to be warm and summer feeling right around the mid-80s as we go into Saturday, Sunday. No rain through the weekend, and it will be early next week. A weak front out there on Tuesday, and I'm not even sold on this actually even occurring. It is a front that arrives Tuesday evening into Wednesday. Could squeeze out a few raindrops or scattered showers. Upper 70s on Tuesday, then back into the mid-70s as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. That'll round up the 10-day forecast to take us all the way through that first week of October. Jeff, back over to you.
Halloween will be here before we know it. All right, Chris, thanks. 1 year after Hurricane Helene devastated western North Carolina, the town of Boone marked the anniversary with unity, art, and healing.
Anna King has the story.
Hope after Helene turned the streets of downtown Boone into spaces of healing 1 year after the devastating storm. The day began with a community quilting project demonstrating patchworks of memories, pain, and hope.
Quilt squares that I'm making, I'm recreating a picture of our barn that actually got picked up by the water and was ripped in half. And I haven't looked at that picture very much since then, so it's kind of bringing back a lot of those emotions.
Those emotions stitched into each square alongside the comfort of sharing them with others.
This is, where the water has come through the mountains and it's ripped open these roads and bridges, and yet immediately what everyone did was go to start fixing them and go to start finding each other and connecting with each other.
Later in the day, residents attended a community resource fair.
But there's also a large emotional toll that this storm has taken. So even when there are big storms, like we had a couple of nights ago or even last night, it makes people anxious that another storm might be coming.
So residents were provided a space filled with poetry readings, recovery services, and group discussions about rebuilding emotionally and spiritually.
And that's kind of what this event's about. People that live through it and are still recovering themselves, but also looking to help neighbors at the same time.
The day also saw live music from local artists, keynote speakers, and community.
So amazing that we could go from something so intensely broken to so full of community and love for each other.
I think if anything, we're a stronger community today because of Hurricane Helene.
Techno reporter Anna King with that story. Stay right there. Still to come, changes coming to Toledo Fire and Rescue. An engine expected to be taken out of service. Why it's happening. Also, we went out into the neighborhood near the station where some residents are telling us they're not too happy about this.
Plus, more surveillance could be coming to Toledo. If approved by City Council, 2 new police cameras could be installed, where they'll go, and why those specific locations were picked.
Thanks for being with us here on WTOL 11 Plus now.
Here's a look at some of the local stories we're following tonight. Changes are coming to Toledo Fire. Engine 12 is being taken out of service, according to the chief. This is at the station at the intersection of Chase Street and Suter Avenue in North Toledo. The union's president says this is retaliation from the city after contract negotiations. The president says removing an engine is unsafe for the firefighters and community. People who live near Station 12 say they're worried about response times, especially because there are train tracks nearby that could possibly stop first responders.
Who's going to come to my house? What if my children are in there and can't get out? You're taking the only firehouse that stays right here where we need them the most.
The fire chief says this is a better use of resources. The union's president says they are ready to fight this change with any legal options available.
A Toledo City Council member is hoping to reduce crime in her district with new surveillance cameras. District 4 Councilwoman Van Ness Williams. She will ask her colleagues to support a request to add 2 new police cameras in the city. One would be at Swain Field, where the city has invested a lot of money. The other would be at the corner of Ontario and Walnut near the Greenbelt Apartments, an area that Williams says has seen a lot of crime.
I want them to feel safe and feel comfortable with being in their homes. It's a lot of children in that neighborhood. So if we can pinpoint where the criminal activity is with these cameras, that would definitely be helpful.
Williams says there are already about 3 dozen of the same cameras across the city. Council is expected to vote on this next Tuesday, October 7th. If approved, it'll run about $28,000, and that money would come out of District 4's improvement fund.
The city of Fremont will open the state's 25th Friendship Kitchen convenience store this week. The store opens with a ribbon cutting on Wednesday, and we'll also see the Beck family donate $100,000 to 16 nonprofit organizations in Fremont. The president of Beck Supplier says the store is dedicated to the company's late president, Doug Beck, who was a key figure in establishing the kitchen brand and had deep connections to the area.
He was very active, very philanthropic, and active in community events. He was active with the Chamber of Commerce in a lot of different areas, and it's just really special for us to open this store and be able to dedicate it in Doug's memory for all the things that he did for not just Fremont, but for Ohio in general.
Those with Friendship Kitchens say the store will create 20 new jobs.
Thanks so much for being here with us on WTOL 11 Plus Now. It's Toledo's only exclusively streaming live local newscast. And since you're here, why not check out some of the other content that we have exclusively on WTOL 11 Plus. On a new episode of Chasing the Game, Chase Bachman sits down with Anthony Wayne head volleyball coach Chrissy Graven.
You guys are, what, 16-1 now? You guys are doing, I mean, again, amazing season for you guys. Only lost, I think, to Stetson, right? Another, like, state powerhouse, right?
Yeah, Seton, Division I, they're ranked #1. Yeah, they're definitely a powerhouse in Ohio. So it was the first time we've played them and went toe-to-toe with them, I would say. So. Yeah,
you guys last year, I think, I forget how many wins. It was like 20-something and like 2, which is like, I mean, there's a handful of programs in the state that get to that level. Is there pressure when you guys get to, you know, however many double-digit wins and like 1 loss, like, oh, we can't lose again, or oh, we have to maintain it? Is there pressure on that? Is it just sort of, we're doing our thing and we're not really worried about the record?
Yeah, I mean, coming into the season, we met as a team and talked about what goals that we had, and one of them was to go undefeated this season, which is a great goal to have, but also I think losses teach us things that we need to work on and opportunities to get better. So I don't think a loss is necessarily negative. If anything, it teaches our girls a lot about how to overcome and what we need to work on to get better for the next match. So no, I don't look down on losses at all. I think it's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that the kids are thinking about it. Like, they're so confident in themselves.
Driven.
They're like, yeah, let's go undefeated.
Yes.
But you are, as a coach, probably glad that, okay, we've had a loss here, so it's not the end of the world.
Right.
We can move on. There's going to be another game. We can figure things out. And you guys, I'm sure, probably get a lot more from losses than you do from wins sometimes.
Yeah, how do you respond? And you can go one of 2 ways. So proud of how we responded after the Seton loss. If anything, we'd love to play them again if we could later in the season, just to see how we develop and over that time. But
you can watch the full interview with Anthony Wayne head volleyball coach Chrissy Graven on WTOL 11 Plus in just a few minutes.
Well, time is running out for you to pick which stamp the U.S. Postal Service should bring back for reprinting. It's all part of the Postal Service's Stamp Encore contest, where you can decide which of the 25 stamps should come back. The Postal Service created the contest as a way to celebrate the nation's 250th anniversary. You have until midnight on September 30th to make your vote.
That's tomorrow.
Hard
That's
to
your
believe.
deadline.
End of September already here. Creeped up on us fast.
The weather just doesn't make it feel like it.
No, not
and
the
if you're kind of
slightest.
already lining up plans for this week, a little bit cooler, a little more comfortable, typical of what you'd expect for late September, early October. That's what we're going to feel late Tuesday into Wednesday, but it's only a brief break toward that. 74 for Thursday, nice day, low 80s as we get into Friday. And the weekend ahead, Saturday and Sunday, we do see highs into the mid 80s. Put things in perspective, average highs this time of the year a little bit closer to about 68 to about 72 degrees over the next couple of days, over the next 10 days. So we're looking at temperatures will edge back closer to that by the end of the 10-day forecast, with the lone chance of rain out there on Tuesday of next week. We can kind of visualize the trend and what this could do. An increased fire risk could be out there due to the fact we've got dry weather, the harvest that's going to be underway, and the breeze it will inevitably pick up. So heads up to that. Some area farm fields are extra crispy this time of year. We'll watch that very close.
All right. So keep flames away.
No outdoor burning. Yeah,
Right.
not a good idea this time of the year.
Chris, thanks. Thank you for spending part of your day with us here on WTOL 11+.
Remember, this is your home for more than just news. You can stream our full lineup of local content anytime on your watch. Thanks for joining us here. We'll see you later tonight at 11.